What does China do with more than 33 million wild boars? Wild boars are on the list of wild animals that need to be protected in China, but because of hunting bans, their numbers have increased many times over in just over 2 decades. Currently, wild boars have become the most common and harmful animals in China. So how do the Chinese handle millions of wild boars? We invite you to explore with us. What does China do with more than 33 million wild boars? In 1999, there were an estimated 1 million wild boars in China. Nearly 2 decades later, the number was more than 30 million in a 2018 report. While more than 6 million wild boars cost the United States $2.5 million, so did more than 30 million wild boars in China. How much destruction will it create? Perhaps most notable in the media are wild boar attacks on residential areas in China. They invade human habitats, disturbing everything and injuring some people. Serious incidents caused by wild boars have made Chinese people clearly realize how wild boars are raging. Moreover, there have been incidents of wild boars breaking into noodle shops in Dat Chau and Sichuan. They roamed the streets, broke into milk tea shops, and wreak havoc. They destroy farmers' crops in areas on the outskirts of the city. The problem of wild boars terrorizing farmers is not unique to Fujian. They are a common scourge in China's mountainous regions such as Sichuan province in the southwest, Shaanxi province in the northwest, and Jilin province in the northeast. Not only eating crops, what makes farmers even more angry is the mud-bathing behavior of wild boars. Research shows that when food is abundant in the wild boars rarely eat crops but often roam around in agricultural land, destroying crops wherever they go. Therefore, the destructive power of wild boars on agriculture in China in some areas has become serious. Not only harmful to humans and agriculture, wild boars also roam throughout urban areas. They dig through trash, causing environmental pollution and causing disorder on the streets, affecting the environmental landscape. To deal with the situation of wild boars destroying crops and causing disorder, some areas have issued policies to prevent and control wild boars. Hunan Forestry Bureau issued a citywide reward notice for spontaneous wild boar hunting and offered a reward of 2,500 yuan for each wild boar. Sichuan province also rewards hunting teams with 2,000 yuan per wild boar. Such a high reward is also due to the current situation of wild boars in many places. In China, the conflict between humans and pigs is also increasing. So why is the number of wild pigs increasing so much? According to the provisions of China's wildlife protection law, Anyone who is illegally hunting rare animals protected by the state in serious circumstances can be sentenced to imprisonment for a term of not exceeding 5 years or criminal detention and fines. If the circumstances are particularly serious, they can be sentenced to more than 10 years in prison. This has led to an increasing number of wild boars in China, leading to the current agricultural crisis. Furthermore, in terms of characteristics, wild boars are omnivores. They can eat anything edible, especially grains and crops grown by farmers. Their destructive ability is very strong. They can destroy crops overnight. Unlike most animals, wild boars have strong fertility. Their gestation period is about 114 days. They can give birth to up to 12 cubs in a litter, and the survival rate is very high. Meanwhile, predators such as tigers, lions, wolves, leopards, and other carnivores have plummeted, and some species are even on the brink of extinction. Along with the strong survival ability of wild boars, natural enemies are becoming fewer and fewer. The loss of control and balance from natural enemies has provided an extremely comfortable living environment for wild boars, making it possible for them to increase in number many times over in just a few years. Currently, dealing with wild boar problems is only spontaneous in some areas. If the Chinese government does not have specific control measures, the consequences will certainly be very serious in the future. Today's video ends here. How do you feel today? Please comment a lot below to let us know. Don't forget, click like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. For now, goodbye and see you again in the next videos.